Going back in session at 8:55 p.m.
So Mayor, before we recessed, there was a motion made to allow 30 days for Daddy Duncan to remove the carport or start receiving the $2,000 a day fine.
I'd like to rescind that motion and make a motion that Daddy Duncan Barbecue has to January the 31st to have the carport uninstalled, taken down, don't know what, and if it's not, it's a $2,000 fine per day.
Second.
And Mr. Hill?
4.
You understand?
Yes, sir. And as far as my permit for the food truck,
That's not being
Well, we
considered tonight.
can't
yeah.
discuss that with you today, but I think you probably can read between the lines.
yeah,
but
okay, thanks for y'all's time.
Thank you,
So
sir.
I have 30 days, January 31st.
I think 24 days from right now.
Who do I get that in writing from?
Check
So we
the
don't
minutes.
lose papers and
So it'll be in the minutes. The council took taking action for that. So you have till January 31st to remove the carport.
Yeah, January 31st, so it's not even 30 days.
It's till January
24.
31st to remove the carport.
Okay. And then,
And then if it's not removed, you're subject by the code to up to $2,000 a day.
and then as far as the permitting goes, y'all are touching base on that in the near future, or whatever?
What permit?
My food truck permit.
No, we can't discuss the food truck permits tonight. It's not on the agenda. They're not allowed to discuss that. So,
Okay.
You do understand that your food truck permit is expired as up 12/31/22. Okay.
And then my $5,000 food costs, I'll leave it.
Okay.
No big deal.
Okay,
You have a good night.
you too, sir.
Okay. Okay, motion carries on that one.
Permit received, right?
And agenda item number 11, discussion and possible action regarding the approval of city council minutes for June the 2nd, June the 8th, June 30th, December 1, and December 15th.
I move that we approve the council meeting minutes from June 2nd, June 8th, June 30th, December 1st, and December 15th, 2022.
Second.
Or,
I ain't asked you yet.
just in case you was going to.
Ms. Branch?
For.
Make her say it again.
Okay. Motion carries. Agenda item number 12, discussion and possible action regarding consolidated invoice payments for fire department and police department invoice payments and reports.
Chief
Oh.
Miller, do we have an update on the PD side?
Microphone.
So council, I have a consolidated, like a invoice from, that I got from Lieutenant Avery today, in regards to those, these charges. So, like from 12/1 to 12/31, these bills, so it goes like from business access lines to metro, fiber lines. So all these charges, they monthly charges, and it come out to be $18.22. These are monthly fees. The phones that we use at the Brookshire Police Department, they're rental phones. They're not our phones. They are rental phones. They have Wi-Fi, and so that's how those phones That's how they work, by the Wi-Fi. And so we have 20 of those phones, 20 phones, Polycom VVX 501. They rental phone, they rentals, and that's $240 for those phones
Per month,
per month.
total or each?
Did you say 20 phones?
Yeah, we have a total of 20 phones. Yeah.
And you independently verified y'all have 20 phones set up at PD?
Let me show you.
But I'm asking, did you
Oh.
Are there physically 20
See
phones?
20 phones active
I
at
hadn't.
PD?
I have not counted all 20 phones, but when I talked to Lieutenant Avery today and let him go through this list with me, he said we had 20 phones. So I have not
$240 per month per phone or total for all 20 phones?
total.
Did you ask him why y'all have 20 phones?
No, I didn't ask him why.
Please do.
I just wanted to know what the phones was for. So he got phones in our back for our investigators. You know, they have like cubicles back there, so every desk has a phone on it. What else? The big charges, $399 EVC internet access. That's $399 a month. Another big charge was the Metro E over fiber. That's $300 a month. He said these are the charges that we've been paying every month for years. He said it was higher than this, but they switched to a consolidated. So whatever the business we were using at first, the charges was actually higher. That's what he's saying.
Was it
There's-
laptop screen repair?
No, there's no way. The only telephone company that you could get in the city of Brookshire for, I can guarantee you, for 33 years is Consolidated.
He said
Because somebody signed a 50-year contract with Consolidated.
Jesus
So
Christ.
there's no way y'all could have had a different phone company.
So I asked him about the phones and the long distance, and he said, "Well, Chief, those are free. Every phone that every time we get a long distance call or use it for long distance purpose is free." So he showed me.
Yeah, for
That-
$2,400 a
yeah.
month,
It's-
I hope y'all got something free.
Yeah, it's
All you on your birthday and everything else.
so my question, counsel, is it possible we can get that bill to come to the Brookshire Police Department so we can actually see that bill monthly? Because we have not seen no bills because it comes here to the
Here's,
city hall.
I've,
So does a whole lot of other bills.
And it's, yeah,
And Carrie comes every day to City Hall and picks up the bills. Why they're not doing that consolidated bill to the PD, I don't know.
everything else is, well, can I see the bill? Everything else is labeled as mailing to PD. But how much are we paying per line for the 20 lines?
He said it was 240 total. It's $12 a month per line.
And once again, this incomplete invoice.
so
but-
he had like 4 different packs just like that, and they're all pretty much almost the same as far as the prices.
What do you mean 4 different packs?
Like
Like
that bill,
different
like for
months?
1,800.
4 different statements?
The last 4 or 5 months, almost the same. I think it was some $76 in late charges. City didn't pay on time, and I think we got a charge for like $76. But overall, they're almost the same.
Well,
You know, it looks like this is a 3-year contract, which my understanding of our contracts couldn't be for more than a year without council approval. Or did I thought I heard that at one time. Maybe I'm dreaming of something else.
No, you're not dreaming, because even with the
Well,
trash company, I'm not going to
I mean,
throw
They can be
just-
longer than a year as long as they're appropriated. There's probably a clause, I'm guessing that there's probably a missing clause in there, but generally what they'll say is they go over a year, you just gotta show that it's subject to appropriation, or that you, at the time that you commit to the funding over the length of the contract, so.
well, it's obviously that whoever's committed to the funding in the past has not been paying attention to how the funding was spent. I'll give you one quick example of what I just saw. 54.2 times 12. We're paying $650 a year for a 24-port power over Ethernet, which is a device that you plug all your stuff into. You can buy those things for $500. And if we've been paying this for 4 or 5 years, Consolidate's a very happy customer with the city of
Yeah,
Brookshire.
Consolidated is
That's
very
why you
expensive.
get
More than 6 times
free,
paid for it.
long distance.
We got the sports and local channels here. I'm not opposed to our guys having a moment to relax, but is it really worth us having sports and stuff in there? I've said this in one meeting before, and again, Chief Miller, I know you walked into a situation. I'm going to give you a piece of advice. At some point, you are the department head right now. At some point, to use a proper word since we're streaming this and my mother may listen, the poop rolls downhill.
Yep.
I would not let another invoice into this chamber for us to look at until you have personally looked at it. Because at some point, you understand the standard that's been raised over these last several months. I said in a meeting, me and Ms. Branch on Tuesday, to discover one department for the last 4 years, expenses were $701,000 over the revenue that department brought in. That kind of crap, to use another word my mom's probably going to get upset with, is no longer going to work in the city of Brookshire. And I look at this and I see a hands-off, multiple people in that department, because you had a chief that should have been looking at this. You have an employee that's evidently picking up the bills and should be looking at this, but you can't escape council's responsibility because council should have seen this. I don't know what else to say other than, if the citizens of Brookshire could find a way to ask for a refund, I would advise them to do it. I mean, in their taxes, because this is ridiculous.
I don't understand 20 lines. If you can't get out of one cubicle to go to the next cubicle to use the designated phone for.
So that's what I mean.
But there were 2 bills attributed to the police department, 2 separate bills. Do we know what that second bill was for?
And see, that's the problem. We don't know nothing about the second bill because we don't see it. I think Ms. Branch told me about it, and you might have told me about it as well.
It was in our packet.
But
It was in our packet.
But when I talked to the lieutenant, we don't see that bill until we pick it up after 30 days when it's due, when we come here and pick it up. So
And
we
I'm
don't
gonna
know that
make
bill.
another
We need to see
statement.
that bill when it comes, so we'll know what's going on.
I'm going to make another statement. I know we can't direct him to do anything, per se. You need to really start looking at who handles this stuff.
Yeah.
Because there's the city personnel policy or the city, whatever policy stated, a department head cannot spend more than $2,500.
Right.
But this individual spent $4,000 and something dollars in 1 month on a purchase of email addresses, 50-something email addresses. And I know you and I know the numbers of that department right now, and it ain't close to 50. I don't know how someone who's not a department head gets to spend more than the person who is the department head.
Right.
And it's done without recourse. And at some point, somebody may need to be set on the sidelines and the credit cards taken out of their hands if you can't get this under control. Because with all due respect, I know you walked into this situation, but at some point,
So, Mr. Hill, give me an opportunity. Let me work on that.
that's
Okay.
why we're having the conversation this way.
Give me
With all due
just
respect.
give me a little bit to work on it.
Even when I talked to Lieutenant Avery, Chief Miller did call,
Let-
and he wanted to know what did the council want, Lieutenant Avery want to know, what did the council need to know this for? Because we're paying your bills. And he said, well, we've never seen the phone bill
They don't want
That-
you to.
that City Hall just pays it. And I was like, well, y'all have 2 phone bills. And he said, oh, we've never seen it. The lackadaisy of, if you want to be in charge, then be in charge. And I'm not talking about you, Miller. But if you're just going to lackadaisy and, hey, who cares, we have 20 phones and
Then Chief Miller, if that's true,
I tell you,
there's been a lot of wasteful spending.
if that is a true and correct statement, why does city council need to know? I would, if I was you, highly question why that person is continuing to serve that function. And that's all I'm going to say on that. Not saying terminate anyone, but I would really reassess whether or not that job function is essential to that person's responsibilities to the city of Brookshire.
Okay.
It's mighty nice when we can keep cashing a check and just spending money and then throw it on the council and say, y'all pay for it.
Right.
That's the kind of mentality that this city's run. And I've said this to other people. Had it not been for money coming in, the city would have fell years ago.
Yep.
But new development has allowed the city to keep operating and people to keep spending money just like this and in other ways. And I know we have multiple department heads in here. I'm just saying, it's been, 6 months now?
6 months.
And every single meeting, we question all the invoices. At some point, get your act together.
So for
or
the,
you're
so
gonna
for
be
the
called
last
to the
6
carpet.
months, that's the invoice you've been getting?
Oh, it's been sporadic invoices.
That's what I'm saying. We don't even
We
receive.
might or might not see them.
But-
that's why I've never voted for.
We
paying
cannot,
of
we cannot even
invoice.
say within good conscience that the invoices that we receive every single month are complete. We still can't even say we trust that this is 100% of the invoices. Because one month we'll see a credit card statement and the next month it's not there. And then all of a sudden it's there again and
But I'll say it to you. I'll say it to
Okay.
Mr. Kelly. I'll say it to Mr. Barnes. I would not let another invoice make its way to the council packets until you've had a chance to review.
Okay.
Because then again, I have great respect for all of y'all. But at some point, I'm going to get a little fed up. And to hear a statement like that, why does council want to know? I'd like to know why he's still in that position if that's his attitude.
Mr. Rodney, do you have any information on, have we cut off the telephone at the fire department?
Do we have any proof of that? Because we've been told that before. Not questioning your integrity, Mr. Rodney, at all. But do we have proof of that in any way? I mean, obviously, the proof will prove out next month. But you've got it.
Is it
Okay.
open?
Thank you, sir.
You're off the hot seat now.
Yeah. And again, great respect for all of y'all. I appreciate the work y'all are doing. But guys, we've got to get this under control. Beyond that, I'll make the motion to approve the finances as presented.
second.
Ms. Branch?
Abstain.
Okay. Ms. Branch, would you like to go first today?
I'd love to go first today. Thank you, Mayor Branch.
Well, hold on just one second.
New year.
Agenda item number 13, request for future agenda items.
I only have one.
Hmm.
To no longer have hotel motel grants until we're able to complete the convention center as well as now the Brookshire Museum, what's known as the old tax office and the doctor's building, that all outside grants. We're just not even taking the application for
Can
them.
I ask you to amend that? And
You
that
can ask me, but I probably won't, but
and
come
that we
on.
review the policies and procedures in granting grants moving forward.
I rescind the first motion and would like to add to that first motion that
We review policies and procedures for grants moving forward.
that's my agenda item.
Second. Thank you, Ms. Branch, for amending that.
Don't push your luck, Mr. Hill.
Ms. Newendorf?
4.
Motion carries. Mr. Hill?
Discussion and possible action, review of the RV ordinance and enforcement.
Review.
Uh-huh. RV, recreational vehicles.
Second.
Would you like me to amend that motion?
No, I forgot something.
Okay. He'll come back to you.
You're so kind. That's what happens when the mayor lets me go first.
She's throwing off her game.
Yeah,
She's so flabbergasted.
Okay,
Would you like to go ahead and get Ms. Branches so we don't throw her off her game anymore?
Well, she has to vote.
go ahead, Ms. Yeah, oh, yeah. You have to vote first.
4.
Okay. Ms. Branch, do you have another one?
I do. Discussion and possible action hiring a company to do city payroll.
Second.
Mr. Hill, second, and Ms. Newendorf.
4.
Okay. Any more?
No, if I have a memory lapse, I still can wait till after Miss Newendorf.
Mr. Hill, do you have any more?
I'll do one more tonight, and I'll save the next one for our next joyous occasion to come together. Discussion and possible action, formation of a senior citizen welfare committee.
4.
And Ms. Newendorf?
4.
No more, Mr. Hill?
No, sir.
Ms. Newendorf?
Discussion and possible action for a code enforcement officer to be found and hired immediately.
What'd you say? I was having a memory lapse.
Discussion and possible action for a code enforcement officer to be hired immediately.
Second.
Mr. Hill?
Absolutely 4.
Okay, that motion carries. Any more?
Yeah.
That's it for now.
That's all from you?
For now.
Okay.
Discussion and possible action directing Mr. Barnes to give direction to administrative staff to put up RFPs for job positions.
Second.
We have a lot of positions that, and not on just the city's website, on TML and work with the Texas Workforce Commission. It's a shame that this has been, we've been needing staff for quite a long time in a whole lot of different departments, and somehow it never gets posted.
Okay. Anyone else?
I'm not gonna look up, Mayor. Did Mr. Barnes faint?
No, he's still upright.
Okay.
I couldn't hear it. It's all the bell.
She just gave you another,
If I didn't hear her, I would have fainted.
she just gave you another
another task to do. Nothing,
I'll do that in my spare time.
yeah.
Okay. So we're through with them. And next agenda item is number 14, council reports and community announcement. Ms. Branch?
Well, I'm not sure if this is a community announcement, but I would like to take the time to thank everybody in Brookshire that has said prayers or sent text or whatever, even made homemade enchiladas, while I was out with cancer. But since December the 27th, I've done the scan and I'm 100% cancer free. So I would like to thank everybody for their prayers and support through this time. Nope.
Mr. Hill?
Happy to report the convention center repairs are moving along. They've gutted most of the flooring and the ceiling tiles by today. And started on the light conversion, so they're moving along pretty swiftly. There's been a few things that they've kind of found that we'll probably have coming back for city council to discuss a few items.
Change orders.
And we did sustain some damage in the freeze. The backflow preventer on the side of the building here suffered some damage, and a hose bib in the front of the building actually was leaking into the building from damage there. So there's few repairs that were necessity to be made. But they assure me we're on target to get this thing completed by end of March. So as long as we move forward the way we are right now, it's going to be I think a great space to once again be used by the citizens of Brookshire. And that's all I have.
Ms. Newendorf?
The MLK celebration is upcoming next weekend. I can't speak on the details of everything that's going on next weekend, but I just wanted to make sure it was mentioned in the absence of our fellow council member who is heading that up.
Friday the 13th, starting at 7 o'clock, is a Deliver concert. And then on Saturday the 14th, beginning at 10 o'clock at the hangar, for the continuing 10 to 12, is a big family activity, barbecue, kids games, etc. At 12 noon, will be a parade.
Thank you, sir.
Chief Miller, why don't you tell us what happened on the Interstate 10 at the car dealership? We want to thank y'all for taking care of that, being safe.
No, we're getting the microphone.
So we received a call. So we received a call from the alarm company saying that they was getting some movement, inside the Hyundai, Brookshire Hyundai. So two of my officers, they showed up and walked, and they saw two guys coming out. One of them had, I believe, a crowbar. They had got inside the building. They got those two. They got two, but one was running, and they chased him down. So he got away, but we did get two in a Lexus out of it. So we booked them on in and took them on to the county, and we put a hole on the car at the toe. Gregory put a hole on the vehicle. So it was good. It was a good catch. Like they was trying to get into the key box, like they was trying to get a Charger or something out of there. They had a nice vehicle in there. I think it's a Dodge Charger or something. So yeah, it was a good catch. They did a good job. So I'm still trying to gather information on the two guys. My understanding they came from Cyprus. So yeah, so I mean we getting it. We're not getting hit hard like some of the other cities. Thank God we're not. But we getting our share.
Sure.
But I've been working very hard trying to get officers to come and join the Brookshire police department team, and that's been that's tough because we shorthanded nationwide. I mean, in just Brookshire, it's nationwide. So I'm working overnights. I'm filling shifts in. Right before I came here, I had a disturbance in Cookson Mobile Home, and it's dangerous when you walk into a trailer that the guy screwed the electrical panel shut after he shut the breakers off, and you have to clear that trailer in the dark. So yeah, that's why I was about 5 or 6 minutes late getting here, because I had to clear a trailer, and I'm by myself. Yeah.
Yeah.
So just to we doing our thing. Yeah, it's no doubt we are doing our thing. Yeah, but we're gonna be all right though. We're gonna be all right. Okay.
Thank you, Chief Miller, and make sure you thank the guys in the department as well, and dispatchers.
Well, and I'd like to thank Chief Miller and the PD for the job they did on the Christmas toy drive. I don't know how many hundreds of kids came out to that event, but I mean, it was, yeah, there was no shortage of kids at every turn.
Oh,
So, y'all did a wonderful job. Appreciate that.
There's no more. We are at 15.
15.
Yeah, we got 2 items. They should be fairly brief.
Agenda item 15, executive session, and it is 9:28.